Hello, Game Timers! It's your hostess with the mostest, Boxton Television Games, that is, Elkyra, and we have a freakishly frightful, mainly because of this image here, episode of Game Time for you where we'll be taking a look at three fun games that you should be playing this Halloween, and you know what, any Halloween after. And we're going to be taking a look at some gameplay and everything. So, stay tuned. First game on this list is a fun little indie game called Costume Quest, and obviously, as you can see, it takes place during Halloween. And one of the things with this game, you kind of go around the neighborhood, you solve puzzles, you trick or treat like we're doing right now. I guess we'll give you candies and whatnot, but you have to be careful because sometimes you're going to open a door and a real monster is going to pop out, and you need to do battle with them. The story also is pretty simple. You play as one of two siblings, and your other sibling gets kidnapped, and you have to go and rescue either him or her, depending on who you choose. And the interesting way, too, is when you battle during the game, the costume that you're wearing becomes a character in of itself, and that's what you will use to battle the monsters that are there with. So early on in the game, very early here, as you can see, we need to acquire our costume parts because ours got taken away. And we had to kind of go around solving puzzles, like maybe this person's looking for this particular thing. So it's a little bit of a fetch quest and whatnot, but it certainly has a lot of atmosphere. And as you can see as well, later on we always get a companion or two, and you can put them in various costumes, and those costumes will give them the powers as well. Here we're going to go into this door here, and what's it going to be? Is it going to be some candy? Is it going to be a trick or a treat? Oh no, it's an orc, it's a monster, it's a very bad trick. So here's the main part of the game itself. We're wearing a kind of a robot Gundam type costume, so we turn into that particular character. And of course our buddy was wearing a knight suit, so he gets to turn into the knight. It's a little bit like Paper Mario. You know, the battles themselves keep you engaged. It's very simplistic. You time your attacks just right and whatnot. One of my gripes about the game later on, first of all, the first area you're in is the neighborhood. You go around kind of solving puzzles to open up more areas of the neighborhood to do your trick or treat, because the goal is to get all the candy and more costume parts to make these costumes. But later on, it kind of gets away from that Halloween neighborhood vibe and goes into like a mall, and you get to sewers and whatnot. So it kind of loses a little bit of steam, but the game does have a lot of character, a lot of personality, and a pretty simplistic, fun little RPG, I think. And here we can see later on, we're in a mall, but it's all decorated for Halloween, and we meet other characters, and in this case, in order to let them or let us pass, we need to get them something that they need. So now we can use the escalators and get up into further areas of the mall. You can see here we're also a knight, and we get more companions to go with us. So it kind of opens up the RPG elements a little bit more, can control more characters. So Costume Quest, it is a PS3, Xbox 360 game back in the day. I know they do have a Costume Quest 2. I played a few minutes of it. I think it has something to do with some time travel. I remembered I wasn't as big into it as I was this first one, but this game is charming AF. The second of the three games we're going to take a look at is Zombies Must Die. This is also a PS3 360 game, and it's kind of a twin stick shooter in a way. You kind of go around, very similar to the Costume Quest. You go around kind of solving various things to open up more areas of the map, all the while this time around there's a bunch of zombies chasing after you. So as you can see here, there's standard weapons. We get shotguns, we get pistols, we get machine guns, and very cartoony. I mean, it's a little bloody, so maybe the younger kids might be a no for them. I forget right offhand if we can turn that off or not. But if you love games like the twin stick shooter variety, Smash TV, etc., and this is a fun little light-hearted game. Like I said, it's a little bit messy, but we go around, we gotta shoot some zombies, we gotta find things to open up other areas of the map, and we get to meet different characters later on as well. fun for one player or up to 4 players. That would be a fun little couch co-op game that you can play on the last gen consoles. As you can see as well, you can do various characters. You're not always playing as the same dude all the time. So we got things that we need here, so we should be able to move on to various other areas of the map. You can see it kind of shows you, here's your quest now. You got to find these objects to get to the next zone. It shows you on the map too what you need. So we got things to find. We still got some zombies to take care of. And here's a little bit of that 2-player action just to show off kind of what they would look like as 2 players. It's nice to have someone to have your back while you kind of look for your items and things that you need. And yeah, it can get pretty hectic, but like I said, pretty fun, lighthearted game, pretty funny as well. And I like some humor in a good zombie game like this. It certainly has the look for it. So, Zombies Must Die is the name of this game, and definitely a recommendation from your old pal Elkaira. And the last game on our list is Haunted Halloween 86. Now this may look like an old school NES game, and that was the purpose of it. It's actually a new game. Well, new as in it came out a couple years ago. I think originally it was for Xbox One, but it has since then come out on Nintendo Switch. And I think PS4, although I don't ever recall seeing it on PS4, so don't quote me on that one. But what it was a homebrew game. It's actually a sequel to a game called Haunted Halloween 85. And this game's more of a side-scroller beat-em-up. You gotta jump on platforms, punch enemies, and you can take a couple hits, but the game's difficult because the more hits you take, the more green you get. And of course, if you turn all green, you get turned into a zombie. Game over. And I know the Switch version, I think a little bit easier than the original homebrew because you can actually swap between 2 characters, male and female character. And as we see there, we picked up a cotton or a piece of candy corn, and that gives us a little bit of health back. But definitely a challenging game. You do have a couple moves that you can learn for later in the game too, like a spinning kick or slide kick, stuff like that. Kind of your standard beat 'em up fares. So I think fans of beat 'em up games who haven't checked this out and love old school games probably will like this one quite a bit. So you can seek out the homebrew version, and that's an actual NES cart you can play on your old school NES systems. But those go for a little bit, but they have a cool orange look to them. I still actually might try to get one at some point, because like I said, it is a sequel to Haunted Halloween 85. I haven't played that, so I kind of want to get both of them on cartridge if I can. But Switch and Xbox One is probably the easiest way to just play and download this game for now. But it has that old school look to it. Jump, punch enemies, Double Dragon-esque. I think fans of those games will really enjoy Haunted Halloween 86. So we see there, we die, we turn into a zombie, and that's it. So, but there's a couple power-ups here, and like I said, you can learn new moves to help make the game a little bit easier. So, hey everybody, thanks for watching this video, subscribing, liking, and don't worry, we won't see Elkaira too much more, unless it's in high demand. But that will do it for this video, and again, thanks for everybody for taking time out to check this out. Leave a comment on some great light-hearted Halloween games. Maybe that could be fun for the whole family. So we'll see you next time. Game on.